The latest credit review by Fitch Ratings comes a few weeks after S&P Global Ratings released its sovereign rating on South Africa. S&P affirms South Africa's credit rating, citing the medium-term budget policy statements that showed the country's intention to consolidate debt. In its latest report, Fitch says South Africa is constrained by high and still rising government debt, low growth, and high inequality that will continue to complicate fiscal consolidation. But there's a silver lining. Fitch says the ratings are supported by a favorable debt structure with long maturities and denominated mostly in local currency, as well as a credible monetary policy framework. Analysts say the country's growth outlook is not all doom and gloom.
General sort of outlook for the economy is realistic from this report. And what I've taken away from it is it's not all doom and gloom. There's a lot of potential. And if we look at different sectors,
the rating agency says persistent rolling blackouts have a substantial impact on the country's growth. It says while substantial investments in increasing generation capacity are underway, there's a risk that power supply imbalances could deteriorate further while escalating effects on growth. Fitch says it bases its analysis on the South African Reserve Bank estimates that power cuts held back growth this year by 1 percentage point, and that economic growth will not significantly improve next year and will only ease gradually in 2024.
As a developing country that's been hit by a previous shock less than 24 months ago, 1.1%, if we look at it relative to the global economy, is not particularly bad. We've always kind of seen, if we compare South Africa's growth to global growth, we're always about 1.5% off. So 1%, if we look at it that way, is really not bad.
The rating agency says at this stage, it assumes a substantial part of recent high government revenues to be temporary and sees current public sector wage negotiations pointing to increased upward pressure on spending. S&P has also flagged public sector wage negotiations, the pressure to make the social relief of distressed grant permanent, and Eskom debt as risk that could worsen government debt. Nothando Makudilela, SABC News, Johannesburg.